Denzel Washington is considered one of the greatest actors of the 21st century. But did you know that he came about his talent by pure chance? Behind the complex and riveting stories of the characters he plays is the story of a man just as complex and exciting as any person he's ever played. Let's take a deeper look into how he became one of the greatest actors of all time and what he did with the insane amount of money he made while becoming a Hollywood legend. Denzel has been in the acting industry for 50 whole years. In that time, he's amassed an unbelievable net worth of $300 million and purchased multiple mansions and luxury apartments along the way. And you don't even have to watch a movie he's in to know who he is. His reputation has saturated the industry so well that you can find out about him through sheer cultural osmosis. He has gained 2 Academy Awards, 3 Golden Globe Awards, and 5 NAACP Image Awards, bringing his total award count to 56 separate awards from over 10 esteemed institutions. If you love the Equalizer franchise and you're a fan of subtle and complex acting performances, then stay put to find out more about the unbelievable way this legend even came to be. Denzel Washington was born on December 28, 1954, in Mount Vernon, New York. He grew up in a middle-class family, the son of Lennis Washington, a beauty parlor owner and operator, and Denzel Hayes Washington Sr., a Pentecostal minister who also worked for the New York City Water Department and at a local department store. His parents got divorced when he was 14, and that was around the time he got in with a bad crowd and started acting out in school and making a lot of bad decisions. They made the joint decision to send him to military school to get him off the bad path he was headed on. Being separated from his childhood friends completely changed the trajectory of his life. All of them ended up in penitentiaries, but because of his parents' decision, he escaped that fate. He later attended Mainland High School in Daytona Beach, Florida, and then Fordham University in New York City, where he earned a BA in drama and journalism in 1977. He was really unsure of what major he wanted to choose, and he switched a lot and took a semester off to decide. During this semester off, he worked as a creative arts director at Camp Sloan YMCA. They had a staff talent show set up for the camp, and a colleague suggested to Denzel that he should give acting a shot, so he did. This tiny comment about how he may have a shot as an actor may have been the single most life-changing moment of his entire career to come. While studying arts at Fordham, he discovered his passion for acting and performed in several college productions, including Othello and The Emperor Jones. This was the moment when he decided that what he wanted to do with his life was become the greatest actor in the world. Click the subscribe button and notification bell to take a look behind the Hollywood curtain and explore the origins of the legends on screen. After graduation, Denzel pursued further studies at the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco, but left after a year to seek work as a professional actor. It was pretty well known at the time that to become a big actor, sometimes your best chance was to just move to New York or LA and get working, and that's how he decided to go about it. His early career began on stage, with performances in off-Broadway productions and regional theater. He made his screen debut in the 1977 television film Wilma, but his breakthrough role came in 1982 with the medical drama Saint Elsewhere, in which he played Dr. Philip Chandler. This role on the NBC series brought him national recognition and lasted until 1988. Over the 6-year run of the show, he was one of the few consistent African-American roles in the entire show. His acting career was still budding at this time, but his next film projects would bring him from obscurity into the public eye where he belonged. One of his early notable roles was in A Soldier's Story in 1984, where he played Private First Class Peterson. However, it was his portrayal of South African anti-apartheid activist Steve Biko in Cry Freedom that earned him his first Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. Over the next 2 decades, he continued to diversify his range as an actor, while still mostly focusing on working in action films. He built a reputation for being flexible, consistent, and bankable. He constantly molded perfectly into the characters of the films he was in. Even when the films themselves were not that great, Denzel showed through by being an overwhelming talent of his own. And in 2001, he proved it in an unexpected way. Washington's most iconic role was in the film Training Day, where he played corrupt LAPD officer Alonzo Harris. This role earned him an Academy Award for Best Actor, making him the second African-American actor to win in this category, after Sidney Poitier. In fact, during his award speech, he addressed Sidney as his inspiration by saying, "I will always be following in your footsteps." His portrayal of Harris was intense, complex, and memorable, demonstrating his ability to take on morally ambiguous characters. The monologue scene that he's most popular for was completely improvised. Those lines were not in his script, but he was so in tune with the character he was playing that he just kept going on, and they didn't cut the cameras, and other actors on the scene were surprised, but stayed in character. Not only was he a talented actor, but he proved that he understood the character he was playing even more than the writers did, and always gave his roles his all. He reached further heights of stardom in the 90s by collaborating on films with bigger names in Hollywood. In 1990, he starred as Bleak Gilliam in the Spike Lee film Mo Better Blues, and the next year he played Demetrius in the Mira Nair film Mississippi Masala. These 2 films were critic favorites and audiences loved it just as much. He worked with Lee a second time for the historical epic Malcolm X, which earned him a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actor. He starred in back-to-back classics over this entire decade in films like The Preacher's Wife, He Got Game, Fallen, and The Bone Collector. His film career has been marked by a series of collaborations with prominent directors and actors. His work with directors such as Spike Lee, Ridley Scott, and Tony Scott created some of the most masterful films of his career, and he has shared the screen with actors such as Tom Hanks, Russell Crowe, and Viola Davis. These collaborations have resulted in his most memorable performances. Every single time he came back as a completely different character in even the smallest ways. In 2000, he became the second black actor since Sidney Poitier to win the Golden Globe for Best Actor. This win was earned by his stellar performance in The Hurricane the year prior. From this point onwards in Denzel's career, he got to enjoy the perks of being an established actor in Hollywood. But instead of becoming Medicare and taking advantage of this, he kept giving every role his all like he was just starting out. He consistently brought this energy over the next 2 decades of his career, and his energy never faltered. Like any actor who reaches a significant level of prominence in Hollywood, Sidney decided to go further than just acting as the years went by. He has also made significant contributions as a director and producer. His directorial debut was the film Antwone Fisher, a biographical drama about a troubled young man who finds healing through therapy and self-discovery. He went on to direct The Great Debaters, Fences, and A Journal for Jordan. Fences was wildly successful. Denzel and Viola Davis were nominated for multiple awards for their role in this film. However, A Journal for Jordan fell into obscurity and was a dismal box office disappointment. Spike Lee revealed in a Directors on Directors conversation that he was confident that Denzel was done with directing. He has produced several films and television projects through his production company, Mundy Lane Entertainment. His work as a producer has allowed him to have a greater influence on the types of stories that are told and the opportunities available to other filmmakers and actors. But for the most part, he seems to be partial to acting and not interested in letting those other aspects overshadow that part of his career. In addition to his work in film, Denzel has been involved in various philanthropic efforts. He has supported numerous causes, including education, healthcare, and the arts. He served as a spokesperson for the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, an organization that played a significant role in his own upbringing. Growing up, the clubs were the only safe place he had to go when his family was experiencing tough times, and he would just stay there after school. He has also donated millions of dollars to educational institutions and has been a vocal advocate for social justice and equality. In 2016, he was awarded the Cecil B. DeMille Award for Lifetime Achievement at the Golden Globe Awards, recognizing his outstanding contributions to the world of entertainment. In more recent years, Washington has continued to take on challenging and diverse roles. He starred in the 2021 film The Tragedy of Macbeth, directed by Joel Cohen, where he played the titular character. He starred in and produced the third installation of the Equalizer series, and is set to play Othello on stage in 2025. Denzel is considered one of the greatest actors of all time. Even though he consistently appears in action films, he always brings something entirely subtly different from before. It's even more difficult to be a great actor when your audience saturation is as high as his. Everyone knows who Denzel is, and that could have the potential to affect his believability. However, he brings such a high level of intensity and believability to all of his characters that we immediately forget that he's a movie star we already know. He becomes the most believable character on screen. Denzel has lived in his Beverly Park home for over 20 years now. The multi-million-dollar mega mansion comes with a private tennis court, swimming pool, and putting green. As soon as his career started to really peak, he moved his family into this home to stay. He bought the home in 1992 from Michael Eisner for about $2.6 million. He shares a neighborhood with stars like Samuel L. Jackson and The Rock. The community is guarded, and the residents are nearly exclusively made up of people who work in the entertainment and film industry. The mansion sits over 2 acres of landscaped grounds. Denzel's Beverly Park estate spans a grand 28,887 square feet, with 8 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, and a wealth of amenities suited to his discerning tastes. The home exudes elegance and comfort, featuring expansive living spaces, a gated roundabout driveway adorned with a fountain, and verdant gardens that offer privacy and tranquility. If the home looks anything like the White House to you, that's on purpose. The home was designed with the same Palladian and neoclassical architecture in mind to give off an air or exclusivity and class. Even though he owns other homes, this is the house he chooses to stay in for as long as possible because of its unbeatable elegance and efficiency. The entire area is surrounded by lush greenery, which not only serves to make the home feel more in touch with nature, but to provide the family with a sense of privacy from prying eyes in the area. Even though basketball was the main sport of his early days, tennis is one of Denzel's favorite active pastimes with his wife. It was entirely essential for him to have the court at home, so he doesn't have to spend time getting to a club-owned tennis court whenever he felt like it. Along with a large main house, the estate includes a spacious guest house adjacent to a sparkling pool and a full tennis court. The house wasn't this luxurious when he first bought it. Over the years, he's worked with an interior designer to turn the home into the kind of place he would never want to leave. Inside is a library, gym, game room, as well as a wine room. There's a reason why this is the home he chooses to stay in out of all the homes he owns. For prestige events he hosts with other famous people in the neighborhood, the home includes an elegant ballroom. In recent years, Denzel's real estate portfolio expanded when he bought a penthouse condominium in Century City's prestigious The Century Building. He bought the unit from Saudi Arabian royalty, Princess Rima bint Bandar Al Saud. This lavish residence spans over 8,000 square feet, with 6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, and panoramic views of the city skyline. The apartment was renovated to join 2 units together, making it twice as large as other units in the building. The place is a home away from home, with all the amenities he's used to, including 24/7 concierge services, a renowned in-house restaurant, and a 75-foot swimming pool. Obviously, Denzel has a penchant for luxury, and no matter where he goes, he doesn't settle for anything less. Speaking of Denzel's love for opulence and luxury, his car collection is no exception to the rule. Think of the cars one would imagine when luxury, class, and comfort come to mind, and that's exactly what Denzel has in his garage. Let's take a look at the treasures he keeps behind those heavy, cherry wood garage doors. For a modest start, his Chrysler 300 is a stylish sedan that blends comfort with understated elegance. Priced from $37,640 to $45,350, depending on specifications. This is the car he likely uses for general runs. It isn't that flashy, considering the neighborhood he lives in, so it gives him the advantage of seeming somewhat inconspicuous. Although he chooses not to get out of the house much, when he does, this is his main choice for general errands. For off-road adventures and a commanding presence, Denzel turns to the Land Rover Range Rover, a stalwart SUV. With prices starting at $104,500, it offers a blend of power and refinement, a must-have for comfort class, and a vehicle that demands power on any road you drive it on. Denzel isn't a camper, but this is the sort of car that can comfortably get the whole family around with an emphasis on comfort. This spacious inner build gives it a roomy feel ideal for a long road trip or just getting all 6 of them out of the house. Every A-list celebrity needs their one prized beauty in their collection. Something more for show than actually constantly driving. Denzel decided to get in on the action and get the car to fit his more opulent indulgences. In his collection is the Aston Martin DBS, a masterpiece of British engineering that delivers a heart-pounding 510 horsepower from its engine. Its sleek design and blistering performance reflect his taste for high-performance machines. A car with unbelievable power and dripping of immense luxury. Adding a touch of nostalgia and collector's charm is the 1997 Porsche 911 Turbo. However, he decided to part with the treasure in March of 2022 because he simply didn't use it enough to justify keeping it any longer. Denzel's model, with just over 18,000 miles, sold for nearly $500,000 at auction. At the pinnacle of luxury stands the Rolls-Royce Phantom, a car so ubiquitous in upscale Hollywood that it's practically mandatory to own one. When Denzel turned 50, he treated himself to this ultimate luxury car, which had a starting price of $320,000 in 2004 and now commands prices upwards of $467,000. Denzel met Pauletta on the set of the film Wilma in 1977. They hit it off immediately, but they were still strangers to each other for about a year. They met again through mutual friends at a party a little while after the movie had finished filming, and bonded over their common values and interests. Denzel and Pauletta got married in 1983 and have since had 4 kids together over the 41 years of their marriage. Pauletta may not be on the big screen as often, but she is an actor in her own right. Her most recent film appearances were in 2022's Tell It Like a Woman and Reasonable Doubt. She also runs a few charities as personal projects. However, for the most part in the last 2 decades, she's decided to stay out of the limelight and focus on herself and her family. Their firstborn son, John Washington, was born in July of 1984. From a young age, he expressed an interest in sports more than anything else. He played basketball in high school and football in college. He played for the United Football League's California Redwoods for 3 years, until the league was shut down in 2012. His father wasn't exactly enthusiastic about his choice to play football, but tried to stay supportive. John has had multiple concussions while playing football, and Denzel always believed that there was a better sport he could play than one that was putting John's life at risk. In interviews, John claimed he always wanted to be an actor, but had his misgivings about being in the limelight all the time. In 2018, he won a Golden Globe nomination for Best Actor for his role in BlacKkKlansman. Their daughter, Katia, was born in November of 1986. Her combined interest in film and immense academic talent got her to study film at Yale University, and she graduated in 2010. Since then, she's been producing films in Hollywood for Bronze Studios. Her work includes films like Fences, Malcolm and Marie, Breaking, and Sharp Stick. Katia has a more casual masculine style of dressing, and in 2017 the public got to work and circulated rumors that she was in a relationship with a colleague named Colleen. The rumor started with an article from Lipstick Alley which claimed to not be looking to out Katia, but just share speculation that she is either gay or at the least bisexual. At the time, Colleen had a picture of them together as her profile picture, and Katia posted that same picture to her Facebook page. Neither of them has confirmed if they have been in a relationship, and Katia has never openly spoken about her sexuality. For the time being, it's all rumors and speculation. Denzel has never publicized his views on gay marriage because he's been open about his religious Pentecostal beliefs. He believes that it clashes with his own religious beliefs. For that reason, some people believe she isn't open about her identity because it could conflict with her father's beliefs. Their last two children are twins Malcolm and Olivia, born in April of 1991. Malcolm studied film at the University of Pennsylvania, while Olivia studied arts at the Tisch School of Arts. They both haven't participated in many film projects, although it's the industry they're most interested in. According to Denzel, acting is a team sport in their house, but they lead mostly generic lives outside of their work. Click on this next video to dive deeper into the lives of these Hollywood giants. Have a favorite you just can't wait to hear about? Comment down below and they might be next up.